Hello and welcome to Cryptids and Crafts. Today is a very different kind of video, and it is one that has been long in the works, and I've thought a lot about this one. Today is May 28th, and 1 year ago, exactly to the day, I had a really hard day at work, and I remember logging off my computer and thinking to myself, enough is enough. I am tired of waiting, tired of being afraid, tired of wondering if I could actually create content on YouTube. And I got up from my desk and walked into the dining room, which is where I am right now. And I just took out my phone. I had a tripod and just put it in the tripod and started drawing. And that was the start of this whole journey. And I wanted to talk about it because I feel like there's a lot to share here. And looking back on a year of posting very consistently, there is a lot I have learned. Several years ago, I wanted to start a channel. I wasn't sure exactly what it would look like or what I wanted to do, and I thought, I'll draw. That's what I could do. I could do like draw with me's, and I've always wanted to draw. I had bought this sketchbook a while before that, and I went and I grabbed it. I grabbed a pencil. Actually, I think it was a pencil, and then I used a pen later, and I thought, I'll draw Brad, my husband, and me. And I've always liked cute art, so I thought that's the style I'll do it in. And I'm gonna show you what I drew because it makes me laugh when I see it, but here we go. So here was my first attempt, which, and by the way, my husband is bald, so that's why he doesn't have hair. But I was trying to do what I thought was right and draw kind of like, well, if I draw stick figures, I can make this, fill it in and stuff, which is sort of the right concept, but I just wasn't executing it well here. So I thought, okay, I'll try again. And I did it in pencil on the next page and outlined it then in pen. Here we go. So still, it's very, I don't know, these make me laugh. They're really funny. We all have to start somewhere, and I definitely look at these and realize how much I've learned. When I drew these and then I thought, well, let me draw a castle, I was really frustrated with this. And I think about 2 or 3 months into when I started drawing every day for this channel, I found this tutorial, and it was on drawing pandas, and I'll have to link it below because I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But I then drew this, which I didn't do it on camera or anything like that. It was just for me. And while I don't think this is like the perfect drawing of a panda head, it surprised me how good it does look. I mean, it's more realistic than anything I've done, and it just shows that, somebody who drew the other really funny stick figure type people and pretty wonky looking castle can also do something like this. I had drawn this and was really frustrated, and I thought, I can't draw. I'm just gonna stop. And I put it away. And for like the next 2 years, I think, or more, I kept thinking about it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and how I really felt like there was something there and I needed to revisit it. And I decided to find maybe a book that could help me learn to draw. And that was really one of the best things that I did. So I went on Amazon and I researched, basically looked through all the different kinds of learn to draw books and read tons and tons of reviews. And I kept coming back to this one. So it's You Can Draw in 30 Days by Mark Kistler. And literally the first lesson is drawing a sphere. Here we go, lesson 1, the sphere. And so that's what I did. I went through the book. I don't even think I've finished the whole book. I believe I got up to, yeah, I know I got up to like houses. I have not done the lily. So I did 13 lessons in this book, but by then I was feeling very confident. I do recommend this book. However, I will say that I think that if you're wanting to learn how to draw and you want to get a book, you should do what I did and research them, look at reviews, and see if something makes more sense to you. If you think, okay, what people are saying about that book is more how I learn or what I want to learn, and it, you know, if it's something that says it's breaking it down really simply, it's more step by step. That's what this book was about, is that, and also this one teaches sort of like the tips and tricks of learning how to draw. And I'm not saying other books don't do that. I'm just saying that this one felt right to me, and I had gotten another book and I can't remember what it was, but it just wasn't working for me. So I would say research and try to find a book, or you can always take, you know, an art class. I didn't have money for that at the time. Plus, I didn't really have time. I've been working full time and it's super hard to find time to like have an art class, that type of thing. But there are tons of tutorials on YouTube as well. And I really think that you could just search for those and start with something that you like. Like I did the panda head because I've always liked pandas and I love animals. And so that was an easy thing for me to spend time and wanting to draw and, you know, putting effort into that. I'm not big into, you know, race cars or dump trucks or things like that. So if that was the subject, I probably would have given up and been like, I don't even like drawing this. So that's what I recommend for learning to draw. I wasn't sure how to start my channel, and for some reason I kept thinking about 100 Dreadful Drawings, and it was like, if I start a series called 100 Dreadful Drawings and I'm wanting to post every day, let's see how far that goes. Let's see if I can draw a drawing each day, sort of learning on camera as I go. I was learning pretty much everything. I was learning how to record, how to edit, how to upload, how to use YouTube Studio, how to read analytics, and how to draw, and like everything. It was basically me starting almost from scratch. So the first drawing that I did on that one day a year ago was the sphere. And it's kind of hard to see because this paper's thin, so it kind of shows you the next one. But there we go. So that's what I drew. And do I look at this and think, this is amazing? No, I don't. If I were to draw it again today, it would be different. The shading would be different, and I've definitely learned more. Am I absolutely amazing and much better? I'm really not. I feel like my art hasn't gotten amazingly better. It's more about my confidence and all the other things that I've learned with it. And I'm also taking my time with learning. I'm not studying more about drawing and learning techniques and taking classes or anything like that. My journey has been more about starting a YouTube channel and learning to draw and becoming more confident with all of those things. And then the second one was the square, the cube. I did that, which again, I can see, you know, it's a little wonky and stuff. That's okay. And then I did a cylinder, and then I did a pyramid and a peacock feather, and then I think it was at this point that I was getting kind of tired of going through all the lessons in this book, and I did the peacock feather from another book. And I really wanted to explore cute art. So I looked again on Amazon, and I was looking at how to draw cute stuff, and I found this one by, I believe her name is Angela Nguyen. I might be mispronouncing that, and I'm sorry, but I absolutely love her art. And if you like cute art like I do, I highly, highly recommend this book. And she has really good tips and examples and prompts and all of that. Pretty much something for everyone, but she has a whole series, and I've bought so many of the books in this series. And the first thing I did was, she's got a picture of a giraffe with a tree. That's what I did here. And I was using water-based markers here, and I didn't like how streaky they were. So I went to YouTube to see, are there markers that aren't streaky? Because I was watching these videos where it would be marker art and the markers weren't streaky, and that's how I learned about alcohol markers. And that really took me down quite the rabbit hole. And I believe that was within the first week or so of 100 Dreadful Drawings, and I have not looked back since. It might have been like, I don't know, within the first month for sure, I started using alcohol markers, and I really, really, really love them. I still love them. I use them pretty much every day. So I bought Ohuhu markers, and I bought this Ohuhu marker pad to learn, and I am not disappointed at all. So I think the first drawing I did in here was the macarons, and I've done so much. So this was the first book, really. I did other sketches and drawings in the other book that I just showed, other, sketchbook. But this one I really stuck with for a long time, and just drew subjects that were interesting to me, that I was wanting to see how they looked, like night sky and that type of thing. I look through this, and it really surprises me, all the art that I've created and the different styles, and I'll remember something and think, I didn't do that great of a job. But then I look back, and my mom loves gnomes, so I decided to try to draw a gnome. And looking back at this, it's pretty cute, and I'm really glad that I went out of my comfort zone, and I think that's the whole thing. It's, you gotta go out of your comfort zone, and if you're, for either thing, wanting to draw, wanting to do YouTube, wanting to do both like me, one thing that I realized along the way is not every video is going to do well, and that's okay. There is weird stuff with the algorithm, and I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but I have over 445 videos as of today. I believe when I post this one, it'll be 446, which is insane in a year. That just shows how much I've posted. And right now, as of today, I have 297 subscribers. So was I hoping I'd be monetized by now? Sure. I am still on my way, and I am not wanting to give up. I want to keep going on this journey, and I want to be a channel that encourages people to start drawing. They can, start drawing on YouTube or not, just start drawing, and or create a YouTube channel, because I really feel like if you're the type of person that wants to do YouTube, you really should give it a try. I have so much art that when I look back on, it's crazy to me that I think, okay, like this is pretty cute. And I know it's like a classic Pooh Bear type style that I was inspired by, and so it's not like my own original art, but I definitely have created my own original art like this that I'm proud of. I did the snail twice because his eyes got smudged here, which was frustrating. So I learned a whole thing about fine liner and all of that. Yeah, so there's just a lot that I have learned, and there are certain things I've done that have really surprised me. I've like surprised myself. In March, I have wanted to draw a banshee for a while, and I ended up drawing this. And I did a whole video, The Myth of the Banshee, and when I look at this, it's really surprising to me that I drew this. People are hard to draw, especially faces, I feel like are hard to draw. I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially me, and I was able to do a drawing that embodies what I see or what I think of when I think of a banshee. And yes, it's spooky, but it's also kind of a little cute, which is exactly what my art is. I love spooky season, so you know, I want to draw stuff that's spooky but also cute. I'm not into drawing like horror, gore, you know, anything like that. Not that that's wrong, it's just not what I want to draw. And I think if I hadn't gone on this journey, I probably never would have drawn this, and that makes me sad. I definitely don't want anybody else out there to like miss out on things that you can create, that you're capable of creating. I think that would be such a loss for the world, and I really encourage people to go outside your comfort zone. For me, it was hard because I had wanted to do YouTube for years, and there was a lot of fear around it. I was afraid I wouldn't be good at it. I was afraid I wouldn't like it, that I would have wanted to do this all these years, and then the realization is that it's something that I don't actually like, and I didn't want to give that dream up. And that wasn't the case for me. However, I understand how that is something that can be scary, to basically have to end a dream, even if you realize you don't like it. There are things that I think I would be like, I want to do this, and then when I actually try it, I think, okay, I don't want to, and I'm okay with that. This would have been hard to let go of, because I think it would have meant that the artist I want to be wasn't possible. That's just how it was for me. So I'm really glad that I went outside of my comfort zone. And the funny thing is about going outside of my comfort zone is oftentimes on my channel, when I do that, those are videos that do really well. And the best video with the most views on my channel is is one that I don't understand today, but I'll show you. Okay, here it is. It's this ghost. And the funny thing about this is that, once again, I was like, I am tired of wanting to be perfect, and I felt like my videos had to be more polished, I guess. And I had this idea of just sitting down with, you know, one of these, a fine liner pen, and just literally taking my phone in my left hand and recording me drawing something simple and seeing if I could set it to music and upload it. And I thought, I know I can draw a ghost, no problem. And it was in October, so that's what I did. And I'd had that spooky, scary skeleton song stuck in my head for probably a week. That happens to me. I don't know if that's just a creative person or just my type of brain. I'm definitely neurodivergent. I am not neurotypical. So that's what I did. Just grabbed my cell phone with my left hand. I'm right-handed, and drew the ghost. Took about maybe a minute. And I just brought it up into the YouTube app, and well, I edited it first. So I edited it in CapCut, and then exported that, and then uploaded it to the YouTube app. I did it all on my phone. I do most of my stuff on my phone. And I brought up the spooky, scary skeleton music, For shorts, you can use that up to a minute if it's in the YouTube library. So you don't get a copyright strike, because if it's in the YouTube library, you're able to use that for shorts. And then you can pick and choose what part of the song you want. And that's what I did. And I just picked something that seemed to go well with the drawing. And I guess it did, because I think in like a day or 2 days it had 17,000 views, and my channel is small. And I don't even think I had anything go over like 4,000 at that point, 4,000 views. So that was insane to me. And it was funny because between coming up with the idea, recording it, editing it, choosing music in YouTube, and publishing it, it was under 5 minutes. And this has the most views on my channel so far, which is just wild. And it shows you never know what will strike a chord with other people. And I'm not sure, I can't say why so many people liked this one, but I think there was just something that hit with maybe nostalgia or just that spooky season vibe. I just think it was a combination of things, but I'm not sure. And it made me realize that while there's this whole thing with being a YouTuber, knowing your audience, and putting out content that's of value and is entertaining, and or either of those things, there's something to be said about also pushing your comfort zone and exploring different possibilities. And that's what I did with this. And it's really silly because I also did it with this, and this didn't do nearly as well as this did. So YouTube doesn't care about skill or how much hard work you put into something, and you just never know what will do well. I firmly believe that if you're wanting to start YouTube, there is an audience out there for you, because while I have less than 300 subscribers as of right now, my channel keeps growing, and my channel has almost 415,000 lifetime views. And that blows my mind that my videos have been watched almost 500,000 times, and I just have almost 300 subscribers. So that just says a lot right there. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I wanted to say, but I just didn't want to script this or anything. I just wanted to be honest about this whole process and, you know, where I started to where I've come today. The funny thing is that I almost didn't start. I'm really glad that I did. And after a year of taking my channel seriously, I've realized so many things. A year ago, I didn't know if I could do this at all. I didn't know if I'd finish my 100 Dreadful Drawing series. I didn't know if anybody would watch, and I didn't know if I'd like making videos. I have learned that I love the whole process. I have taught myself pretty much everything. My husband does have a YouTube channel, and he does have a degree in digital film, and he is extremely talented. However, I didn't rely on him for most of this. I didn't tell him I was recording my first video when I drew the sphere. I didn't tell him that. I didn't ask for his opinion on the angle I did or helping me with lighting or anything like that. I just didn't use any actual lights. I do now. I have lights that he no longer uses, and I asked if I could have them, and he did help me set them up. But the rest of it, it's mine. He doesn't help me with recording things. He doesn't help me with editing. I had been struggling. He had tried to teach me, I don't know if it was Premiere Pro or Final Cut. He's kind of gone back and forth between like being on a PC, being on a Mac. But whatever editing program it was very intimidating to me. And someone on YouTube said that they started with CapCut because it's very user-friendly. And I just downloaded the app, it's free, and had it on my phone and started to edit that first video, the sphere video, and I was getting frustrated because I wasn't sure what I was doing and how to cut clips and all of that. And I was sitting on the couch editing on our sofa in the family room, and he came in there, and asked me what I was doing, and I told him, and I said I was having trouble. So he said, let me look at it, and he showed me just a couple things, and that was literally a year ago. For the majority of it, I've done this all on my own. I've taught myself, and it's been quite a journey, and I love it all. I love editing, I love recording the videos, I love coming up with the ideas, I love exploring drawing and art, and I'm very happy that I've learned all of this about myself. I absolutely want anybody else out there who wonders if they could do this, that I know you can. I can do it. I've been doing this with a full-time job. I believe that you definitely can, and I will be on your side. I will be your cheerleader. So after a year of learning how to draw, edit, upload, and just keep showing up, I feel like I'm finally becoming the creator I wanted to be. And the great thing is, I'm just getting started. I hope you'll stick around and see where this channel goes. I would love to have you on the journey with me. I want to thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!